Okay, so welcome back to my set review series. Today, we will be learning all about absolute value equations. So ano nga bang absolute value equation? So basically, ito ay kahit anong equation that contains an absolute value. Okay? Ganun lang kasimple. Kahit anong equation na may absolute value. So to solve absolute value equations, kailangan natin tignan yung properties niya, no? So, we can for example, let's call it delta to be any algebraic, no? So, any algebraic expression, and let's say C to be any constant. Okay? So, if if C is greater than 0, okay, we can say na if yung absolute value ng any algebraic expression is equal to C, then yung any algebraic expression na yan could be equal to C or negative C. Bakit? Kasi kung papansin niyo, kung yung absolute value na yan ng C ay negative, equal pa rin siya sa C, no? Kasi nagkaroon ka ng absolute value. Okay? Yun lang ay nangyayari kapag ka C is greater than 0. So, if C naman is equal to 0, edi we can just simply say na yung kahit anong algebraic expression na yan is equal to C, and since C is equal to 0, di sabihin lang natin na absolute value of that any algebraic expression is equal to 0, edi yung kahit anong algebraic expression na yan ay equal rin sa 0. Okay? This makes sense, tama? Kapag ka negative naman, okay, if C is negative, kailangan lang natin na absolute value ng any algebraic expression ay equal sa C. And this implies that the equation has no real solutions. Okay? So, mas madali ito maintindihan by an example. So, let's do an example. So, kunyari, let's do absolute value ng 2x minus 3 is equal to 5. Okay? So, yung triangle kanina o yung delta ay yung 2x minus 3, no? Yun yung kahit anong algebraic expression natin. We can solve absolute value equations by applying yung definition ng absolute value, no? So, take note na in my previous video, sinabi ko na yung square root of x squared ay equal sa absolute value of x. So, we can apply yung kabaliktaran, no? Kung meron kang absolute value of x, equal yan sa square root of x squared. Diba? So, ngayon, pwede ko sabihin dito na itong absolute value of 2x minus 3 ay equal sa square root ng 2x minus 3 squared. Equal siya ngayon sa 5. Okay? So, bumabalik na ngayon siya dun sa pag-solve ng radical equation, no? So, ano ba ginawa natin dito before? Square natin both sides. So, pag square natin both sides, matitira sa atin is 2x minus 3 squared is equal to 25. Now, we can just take the square root of both sides ngayon, no? Balik rin naman natin, square root ng both sides. We can say na ito ay equal sa 2x minus 3 is equal to plus and minus 5. Okay? So, bakit plus and minus 5? Kasi C, no? C is greater than 0. Okay? Yun yung sinabi natin kanina. So, now we can just simply solve 2x minus 3 is equal to 5 and 2x minus 3 is equal to negative 5. And we can get here na x is equal to 4 and x is equal to negative 1. So, next, let's do another example. And we will apply the same idea, no? Pero medyo mas mahirap naman. So, let's say, example 2. Let's say, absolute value ng 2 minus 3x is equal to absolute value ng x minus 5. Again, we just apply the idea ng absolute value. No? So we can convert this into the square root ng squared. No? So this will be the square root ng 2 minus 3x squared is equal to square root ng x minus 5 squared. And again, we can just square both sides. No? We can just square both sides. The matitira sa atin is 2 minus 3x squared is equal to x minus 5 squared. Okay? Now, pwede na lang natin to i-expand, no? Pwede na lang natin to expand to be equal to 4 minus 12x plus 9x squared is equal to x squared minus 10x plus 25. Okay? And then, ngayon, isimplify natin. Ito ay magiging 8x squared minus 2x minus 21 is equal to 0. Okay? So now, we can just factor this, no? So let's factor this to be equal to 2x plus 3 and 4x minus 7 is equal to 0. And now we can just solve for the value of x to be equal to negative 3 over 2 and x to be equal to 7 all over 4. Okay? So, just take note, no? Take note na gumagana tong technique natin na to kasi if each side, no, is greater than or equal to 0, pagka square mo siya, no, squaring does not change the value. Okay? So today, you have learned about absolute value expressions and absolute value equations and yung nature ng value ng C determines kung paano nyo siya isosolve. And you have learned also kung paano mag-solve ng mga absolute value equations. So I hope to see you again next time.